Hi everyone, welcome back to A Peaceful Pursuit. Today I'm going to be making some sauerkraut and I'm going to be taking you along with me as I do that. If you've never made it before, it is super easy. Easiest way, I think, just to get some natural probiotics into your diet, and I want to show you how I do it. It is the simplest thing ever. So you are going to start by removing the outer leaves of the cabbage head and then rinsing your cabbage off, letting it drain a little bit, just making sure that there's not pools of water sitting there. And then you're going to want to core your cabbage. I guess I never do this the proper way. I just kind of start chopping it. But if you want to be technical, you can core it and do it that way. But I just start chopping, keep it really basic and simple. Now, if you have a food processor, you can use that for this part. It would go quicker and it would give you nice shredded pieces. I don't have one, so I just always use a knife and chop it into small pieces. You can make it as fine as you'd like. I've just always done small pieces, haven't had any issues with that. So it's kind of just up to your preference, but you don't want to have large pieces. You definitely want to chop it relatively small. So don't just leave it large and then try to ferment it that way. So I like to add my chopped cabbage to a large glass bowl. This is just the easiest way. You can use any large bowl that you have, doesn't matter. Easiest way to get it to mix up. And then general rule of thumb is about a tablespoon of salt. You don't want to use iodized salt, but 1 tablespoon per head of cabbage. That's the non-technical way of doing it. There is like an exact ratio. I think it's 2%. And if you want to be super technical, you can, but I never am, and I haven't not had any issues. So you're going to add a tablespoon of your salt, mix it in, and then I just let it sit. So you can see I covered it with a tea towel, and now I'm coming back to it later at night. I have come to it a few times throughout the day to mix it as well, just to encourage the brine to form, but I do not stand there mixing it for like 30 minutes until the brine completely forms. I did that when I first started and I was like, this is not going to be sustainable. So I just check back throughout the day and then I finish it in the evening. Sometimes if the brine forms quickly, if the house is warmer, I will finish it, later in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on when I started it, but I always finish it within 1 day. And yeah, that seems to work pretty well. So you're gonna, once you have a nice brine formed, you're going to add it to a glass jar. I usually fill a half-gallon jar, and you're just gonna want to press down periodically. You want everything to be packed in really tightly. So press it down and then make sure that it is covered with the brine. I like to add a fermentation weight and also a fermentation lid so that I don't have to burp the jar. And then you're just gonna let it ferment, and that is literally it. If you're just starting, I would maybe only do 3 days. I'm comfortable going a little bit longer than a week now, but you can go up to 3 or 4 weeks, I have seen on various recipes. The biggest thing is to make sure that the cabbage stays submerged below the brine so that you don't get any molding or anything. But other than that, it is so simple and easy, and I love to have this as a side with pretty much any meal. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I want to thank you so much for stopping by.